I'm Tina, sitting on my beach house deck, watching the morning light transform the ocean into a canvas of silver and gold. I'm reminded of the long journey that led me here. It's been 8 months since the trial ended, and the peace I feel now is a stark contrast to the chaos that once consumed my life. It all started with an email. One Thursday at 10:47 a.m. I received an email titled Smith Wedding Venue Confirmation and Deposit. I opened it absent-mindedly, thinking it was spam. But it was an invoice for $15,000 worth of event services to be held at my beach house in 6 weeks. This beach house was my pride and joy, bought 5 years ago after I sold my tech startup. The deed had only my name on it, and my parents, Mr. and Mrs. Thompson, were only given keys for emergencies. The invoice detailed every expense: a $4,200 ceremony tent, a $5,800 reception tent, $2,400 for catering prep, $1,800 for lighting installation, and $800 for furniture rental. At the bottom, it said, "As discussed with property owner Mrs. Emily Thompson." My mother, who definitely wasn't the owner. I called the number on the invoice. A woman named Lily from Charming Events answered. I told her I needed to clarify who authorized these services. She said my mother had contacted them 3 weeks ago, claiming I generously offered the beach house for my cousin Olivia's wedding. I was shocked. I hadn't been asked or consulted at all. Lily showed up at my office 90 minutes later. She was in her late 20s, a young professional with a look of controlled panic on her face. She asked to see the property deed, and after comparing it with the documents in her portfolio, she told me that my mother had presented herself as the owner, signed the venue contract, put down a $5,000 deposit, and given full access authorization. She had keys, knew the security codes, and had detailed interior photos, which made everything seem legitimate. Lily then mentioned a charity event I'd hosted at my other property last year. I donated the venue for a local animal shelter's fundraiser. She recognized a unique sculpture I'd commissioned in both places and realized I owned both properties. She said I'd been truly generous at the event, covering all the costs without taking a tax write-off. And now my family was defrauding me using another property of mine. That realization hit me hard. I decided not to call my parents right away. Instead, I started creating what I later named the Ghost Ledger. I listed all the past incidents where my family had taken advantage of me. When I announced I'd sold my startup for $3.5 million at Christmas 2019, my parents' first question was if I could help Olivia buy a new car. The joy of my achievement was instantly stolen. In 2020, after I bought the beach house, my mom asked for keys in case of emergencies. She used them to host family parties I wasn't invited to, violating my privacy and security. Olivia once visited the beach house without permission, bringing a bunch of friends. They left wine stains on the sofa and cigarette burns on the deck, causing $7,500 in damage. When I mentioned it, she just said it was just a house. My mom also told relatives at a family dinner that I was too focused on work to have a relationship, while I'd been in a serious relationship for 2 months. She spent the whole dinner talking about Olivia's dating life, making me feel invisible in my own family. 4 weeks ago, I called my mom to share the news that I'd been offered the position of Chief Technology Officer at a big company with a high-paying salary. She responded distractedly and then immediately asked if I could offer the beach house for Olivia's wedding. I said no, but she kept insisting that family helps family. I hung up, realizing they saw me as a walking ATM, not a person. By Thursday afternoon, I'd gathered all the evidence: screenshots of the invoice, photos of the contract with my mother's forged signature, security system logs showing her 15 unauthorized entries in the past 6 months, and bank records proving I never received the $5,000 deposit. I called my attorney, Mark, at 3:15 p.m. and told him about the property fraud and identity theft. He promised to file the papers by the next morning. By Friday afternoon, an emergency injunction was in place, preventing anyone but me from accessing the property. The locks were changed, security codes updated, and cameras installed. My mom called at 7:32 p.m. Furious. She said the event planner had canceled the wedding and mentioned police and fraud investigations, and that Olivia was devastated. I was calm as I sat on the deck, watching the sunset. I told her it was fraud, criminal fraud, and that she and my family were no longer family to me. She hung up. The investigation went smoothly. I provided all the necessary documentation, and the event planner, Lily, voluntarily gave her statement. The district attorney's office contacted me on day 12, asking if I wanted to proceed with the charges. Thinking about the 32 entries in the ghost ledger, I said yes. My mom hired an attorney who tried to negotiate, offering probation, restitution, family therapy, and a public apology. But I remembered all the years of being taken advantage of and said no. I wanted a trial. The family's responses were as expected. I got numerous missed calls and threatening texts. My dad showed up at my office, but security escorted him out. Extended family members called me vindictive, but I blocked them all. Olivia posted on social media about family betrayal, but when someone questioned why she needed someone else's property, she deleted the post. The trial was a turning point. Security footage showed my mom presenting herself as the owner. The bank representative testified about the $5,000 deposit, and the title company representative confirmed my sole ownership. Lily testified about my pattern of generosity and my mom's deception. The prosecutors showed the ghost ledger, and the jury saw the pattern of exploitation. The verdict came back in 5 hours. My mom received 18 months probation, $22,000 in fines and restitution, 220 hours of community service, and a permanent record. My dad got 12 months probation for complicity. Olivia was ordered to pay $7,500 for the property damage. The judge issued a permanent restraining order, and my family could no longer contact me. In the end, I felt a sense of profound completion. I've learned that real family is about respect and mutual care, not just blood ties. I have sovereignty over my life now, and the spaces I've built are truly mine. Lily and I now meet quarterly to plan events at my properties with proper contracts and mutual respect. The ghost ledger sits in a locked drawer, a reminder that I was right to protect myself. The debt is paid, and I'm finally at peace.